Hey, boom, 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 boom. It's an American dream, baby. It is two Dynamite Dudes here on WrestleZone.com. I am Dominic DeAngelo of WrestleZone.com and of ad-free shows and of Major League Wrestling and of Podcast Heat. And I am here with Marcus DeAngelo, the sole proprietor. Not sole proprietor, but
there are numerous proprietors, Dom.
Eh?
There are many proprietors.
Yes, many proprietors, but Marcus is one of the people of adfreeshows.com. Hello, Marcus.
That was probably the worst I've ever been introduced anywhere.
Good.
On any platform.
Deserve it.
I'm trying to think of a worse introduction I've received. I can't.
Good. I'm happy.
Nesha,
you know what?
What's up?
Why don't you have a little announcement to make here? What's on your agenda here tonight, Marcus? You're staying with us the entire time, correct?
Absolutely not. I'm very, very busy. Sunday nights are rough.
Wow.
Dominic completely fucked me over and blew me off yesterday. So yeah, it's gonna be a quick drop in for me. Kevin Davis, what's up, buddy? Okay, he's gone.
All right.
Nesha, what's up, girl? Steven, how you guys doing? Kevin, yes, we are staying safe from the coronavirus. Appreciate all the support there, gang. But yeah, it's Sunday nights they're rough. Rough
I
on
think
old Papa Bear here.
Piss poor excuse. I am busy every day of the week. Every day. That's why I couldn't do the show last night. And so now I'm doing it here, but I'm available. Unlike Marcus, very disappointing.
So you are chastising me because I was ready to go yesterday, and then you completely fucked me over. Just called it off.
But I'm committed, okay? I'm gonna do it hell or high water, okay? That's the gig, all right? And you just have no regard for anyone but yourself.
All right, so I mean, I was excited about it last night. I'm sure that Nesha was too. And then Dominic, you just pulled the rug out from both of us. Here I was ready to. I was ready to go for 4 hours last night.
Oh man! Hey, thanks, Kev. Thanks, appreciate the kind words. And Rich, I hope you're feeling better. Sorry about the COVID.
Hey man, we're really fucking around on time here, pal. We better jump into this thing.
We are. Real quick, I have to thank everyone that sent me well wishes about my poor cat Dusty passing away. You've probably seen him here a couple times on the episodes. He'd hop up on my lap and stuff like that. It's been a tough couple of days. I haven't had a good support system, including you guys, and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. Dusty will be really missed. He was a very special cat and very much lived up to the namesake of Dusty Rhodes. So thank you, everybody. Marcus, he was our last connection to all the animals we had growing up from 108 Leslie Avenue. So
yeah, but the nice thing is that you got another cat, so that lineage kind of continues. That cat met Dusty, who's met all the other animals. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yes, thank you. And his name's Razor, and he's right here. He's not one to hop on laps yet, but hopefully he will be. So maybe you'll get to see him sometime. But let's get to kicking here. Marcus, wow. Two, I think, wonderful end caps to what was a pretty damn good Dynamite, right?
Yeah. Yes. That opener, I would go as far as to say it's one of the best opening matches I've seen. And I don't know. I've been watching wrestling now for 25 years. So I would say it's up there in all of my years of watching wrestling.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you gotta, with perspective, I used to watch those cruiserweight openings on Nitro all the time, and there were some fucking bangers there. But this one, this was a fucking phenomenal match.
What was the feedback you were seeing on social media? Because I was dealing with the emergency at the time, but what was the feedback you were kind of reading on Twitter and the social media platforms, if you will?
By and large, it was, and Adam Cole did a hell of a job, but by and large, it was praise for Dax Harwood, who, by the way, is doing a live thing on adfreeshows.com right now.
Wow. We're competing with Dax.
Yeah, we're competing with Dax, so it's probably not going great for us, but he's actually reviewing his match with Cash right now, live, so he's rewatching it with members over there. But in any case, by and large, it was mostly that, as Dax is one of the best wrestlers on the face of the planet. And everybody is kind of beginning to come around to that line of thinking, Dominic.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. He is someone very special, and I think he was hard to not root for. Even during that match, I was like, man, Dax is the fan favorite, I think, in this tournament. From the gear he was wearing to the work he was doing, and just like how passionate he was about not just Bret Hart, but Owen Hart and the whole tournament itself. like he really epitomized it in a lot of ways. So it was a bummer to kind of see him lose in the opening round. But I mean, Adam Cole is Adam Cole, baby. So it makes sense. But it's also, man, I wanted Dax to go the whole way almost.
It would be great. And, you know, Dax is, I was finally able to put my finger on it while I'm watching this match. And I probably should have been able to draw this distinction earlier because, you know, ordinarily it's like, oh, yeah, you know, he and Cash are like Arn and Tully, or he and Cash are like the Midnights or like the Midnight Express, you know, Bobby Eaton and Stanley. And it's like, I certainly see flashes of that. I think that Dax as a wrestler is like, he's 50% Arn Anderson and 50% Bret Hart. And those are like his two guys. And you could see that those are his two guys. Like his wrestling style, his wrestling ability is like the perfect split between those two.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, you saw all the love he had for Arn Anderson, you know, starting off as a heel and everything like that in AEW, but he's really been embracing the Bret Hart stuff as of late, but always was a Bret Hart fan. So it's kind of neat to see him at least get into the tournament, kind of showcase himself a little bit, pay homage to Bret and Owen. And I thought it was, a really good opener. As far as the main event, that was great in its own way. Like, I loved how they set it up with a package promo before, like early in the show, kind of stating their claim, like, hey, listen, we want to go all out. Like, let's make this anything goes, basically. And they did. Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin and Marcus. I can't tell you. You were like, there is no way that Darby Allin does not win this match, and he lost this match against the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy, the lone man in the tournament who's ever wrestled Owen Hart. So
as soon as I saw that victory for Jeff Hardy, I was like, well, I'm going to hear about this on the podcast because I think I really pounded the table last week.
Did?
Like, nope, not going to happen, never happened. But no, you called it. So yeah, it was a hell of a match. I will say those two make me very uncomfortable. When Jeff Hardy was like kind of about to lose his balance, when he was about to do that swanton onto the stairs, that was as uncomfortable as I've been watching wrestling in a while. Because I was like, he's gonna get badly injured right here on national TV. But now he seemed like he was okay.
Pretty damn good bump. Like, I mean, like, for doing a swanton bomb to the side of his steel steps, it looked like a pretty safe bump.
And, you know, that's the thing too, is like a lot of people would look at a match like this and say like, oh, well, you know, it's like gimmick match, like, oh, it's just this high flying kind of blah, blah, blah. Well, look, it's what happened during that match was it elicited a very strong emotion out of me. Right. And that's sort of the whole idea with wrestling, isn't it? Like you're supposed to have strong emotions. I hate that guy, or I love that guy, or this is horrible. They shouldn't be doing this. That's a strong emotion. So I mean, there's good heat, and then there's go home heat, like the finger poke of doom. This was one of those moments where it was like it got a very strong reaction out of me, and that makes it a good match.
Yeah, and it was fun to watch, as unnerving as it could be at some points, but like all the players involved, like from Sting to Matt Hardy. Did you see Matt Hardy's reaction when Jeff did the dive off the steps or was getting ready to do it? Like Jeff was like, he was kind of like the older brother where he's like, oh, I don't necessarily, okay,
yes,
you're doing
maybe,
it. All right, well,
maybe.
I'm with you.
Maybe don't do it. Okay.
Okay, well, I'm with you now.
Yeah, it was good. It was pretty wild, man. Yeah, Rich Murphy, Dominic is pointing out that CM Punk did put over Dax Harwood on Twitter as well. So a lot of people were really, they're riding that train, baby. The Dax Harwood is very talented.
What I guess at this point, it only makes sense that they continue their tag team run a lot of the ways. But are you against Dax going on a singles run at some points? Dax and Cash, for that matter.
I don't think I like it. I think they're stronger combined, just because they do have such good chemistry. So I would prefer to see those two as tag team partners always, but then continue to do this. Like every once in a while, they'll jump in and have a singles match.
I wouldn't mind them like always staying a tag team, but one of them wins a title here and there, you know, or something like that. You know?
I think that there's tons of possibility there. I mean, just like from a talent standpoint, man, I like both those guys. unbelievable. You know, we spend a lot of time putting over Dax, but man, Cash is an incredible athlete.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, it's nothing to take away from Cash because I like him as a singles competitor or a tag team wrestler himself. Like I think he's got a kind of like this old school charisma that's very cool and engaging, and they balance one another out very well because they're similar in a lot of ways, but they also just have a great offensive and wrestling mindset for the in-ring game, and I think that's very respectful in regards to doing tag team wrestling. But heck, if they got to throw down in a singles match, they're fun to watch, and it's kind of a treat to almost get one of these guys in a singles match. So yes,
highlight Nesha there. She just summed it up. I want them together. I think they should be together. And look, it's they are certainly, I would say, the number one tag team in the world right now. But they have like the potential, if they continue on and they keep winning championships and they keep proving their chemistry and all that stuff, they have the potential to go down as one of the greatest tag teams ever.
I agree. I mean, they're well on their way to doing a lot of that. Carving and like paying homage to all these classic teams and wrestlers, and kind of the going against the grain of the wrestling style of nowadays too, where it's like, okay, hey, we're old school guys and we're showing our abilities in doing that, but they can pull out some new stuff too. Marcus, Rich Murphy also asked, I think this leads us into a good thing, as to who, as your kind of thought process or maybe speculation has changed in regards to who the Jokers may be, both in the women's tournament and in the men's tournament.
Yeah, mine actually changed today on the men's.
Okay.
Yes, because initially I was like, yeah, this might be it for Cesaro. So I was getting really excited about that possibility, but then all of a sudden it came crashing down, brother. Where I was like, wait a minute, the trend has been for Tony Khan. Tony Khan very clearly enjoyed NXT back in the day, like a couple years ago, right? 4 or 5 years ago. He was a big NXT guy, and you can tell that based on the people that he's brought in and kind of the influence there. I think for the men's, it's going to be Johnny Gargano.
When somebody mentioned that on Twitter, I even made a poll like early last week. Hey, who do you think is going to be the Joker? And I gave 4 options. I believe it was Cesaro, Kenny Omega,
Miro,
and then I think one other, but maybe it wasn't even another person. And I just left it at that. I didn't even put Gargano. And when somebody put that up, I was like, that makes a lot of sense, actually. It does make a lot of sense. Because, but the only thing is, like, you're putting somebody out in that position, they're going against an established name and talent like Samoa Joe. But if they're debuting, wouldn't you want them to get the win?
They have to go over. The new person does. And here's the deal. And you and I discussed this, I want to say a week ago or 2 weeks ago, is that Samoa Joe's in the middle of an issue with Jay Lethal. So that's how you get out of it. You have Jay Lethal come out and fuck him over.
True. Oh, yes. You said that last time. Yeah. That makes sense. It's so easy how I kind of forget, like, just the simple concept of how wrestling can be booked. How are they going to get out of that?
It's an easy story to tell. But yeah, so that's how I see it going. Nesha's saying maybe Kenny Omega, which
how cool would that be though?
Man, people are dying for him to come back. Steven Chambers, how about that Killer Cross?
Oh man, that would be fire.
Yeah,
I love me some Killer Cross. Hey, I can't say coming up here, but Killer Cross has been doing a lot of cool stuff lately, so just keep your eye out for stuff.
Thanks for that teaser, Dom.
You're welcome. Let me see here. What was I gonna say though? Oh, what's interesting is now it's kind of a shameless like plug in here a little bit, but I work for the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast, and on this episode of Ask Matt Anything, a question was asked: hey, who would you like to see who would you like to do trios with? And what do you think of the trios, division trios, titles, all that stuff? Matt's all for that stuff. But he pitched out this thing how one day, Marcus, he would like to see a broken Matt Hardy tag with a Brother Nero and a Bray Wyatt in AEW, he said. Well, I mean, is there any chance that Bray Wyatt could be the Joker in this match?
Well, that would be wild. I have heard rumors that both his and Cesaro's asking price is incredibly high. So I'm not sure if that would be a thing that would scare off Tony Khan. Probably not. I mean, I get the impression that CM Punk is being very well compensated, among others. So it's hard to say. Hard to say. I mean, really, I lean toward somebody like Gargano, really just kind of based on context clues. But who knows? I think that it's going to pop a big rating, because we've been building it for a while. Dominic, who do you got for the women's?
So somebody says Athena. Marcus, do you know who Athena is?
I do. That's the former Ember Moon.
Okay, that's who I was thinking. Yeah, that's who I was gonna be my guess and speculation. And I tell you what, she would be great. I think if I wanted someone to debut, a women's wrestler to debut in AEW, it would be her, because I think she was so underutilized in WWE, and like her ability to do the moves that she could do in the ring, and the presence that she had as Ember Moon, it was a great look, great everything. I think she's another woman you could promote big time, and like she'd fit up there right in the echelons of the Jade Cargills and the Thunder Roses and the Serena Deebs and the Britt Bakers. The list goes on with a lot of those names. So I think she'd be my personal choice, I think, for that tournament.
Dom Stevens saying Candice LeRae. John Howard.
Yep. I mean, that would make sense though, Mark, because if you have Johnny Gargano in the one tournament, what if Candice LeRae showed up in the other one?
I was just going to ask. John Howard is saying Johnny and his wife. I didn't know his wife was Candice LeRae. So.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah. Well, you're not too in tune with the NXT stuff.
No.
So,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could see that. Actually, James just said one that I was thinking of. He said Nia getting hurt really killed her. What if Nia Jax came out?
Whew. I think that would be interesting. I mean,
it would get one hell of a reaction.
It would get one hell of a reaction, and she's certainly marketable. You can definitely cultivate an audience get some heat against her or a fan base. But yes, she is a polarizing individual in wrestling. So
that's kind of the idea, though, too, isn't it? You know, it's if she's polarizing. Oh, Nesha's saying she thinks Nia is retired.
Well, who knows? People say that though. It's not necessarily true. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to think. And John is saying Nia is garbage. And look, you don't want to bring somebody in there who's going to hurt your talent. Certainly not. However, I think the argument could be made that Nia is, as you said, such a polarizing figure that she would get a reaction. And as we said earlier in the podcast here, that's sort of the name of the game, right? Get a reaction. Right. Dom, where you at on Tessa Blanchard?
I'm out on her, I think. There's reports that she's already out with Women of Wrestling, that promotion that AJ Lee, AJ Mendez, CM Punk's wife, was a part of. She's already out on that. I mean, that's just a lot of red flags, even more red flags than what she had. Why are she already out on it?
She was with them, and now she's not already?
Now she's not already. So it's just like super talented in the ring. Obviously has the name. But listen, where there's smoke, there's fire. It seems, and that's there's a lot of smoke.
If she doesn't pull the nose up, that's going to be one of the biggest what ifs in my mind in wrestling. Because
there's been a lot of those.
So damn good. And here's the other thing is like, she's got the horseman lineage, just like Ric Flair's daughter, who's killing it. It's like, I just want to see her with her talent on a main stage, right? Because imagine her and Charlotte in a feud, two former horsemen's daughters feuding with each other for like a long-term program. I mean, she's such a talented performer. It's a shame that she's become this polarizing figure. And as I've said on this program before, if anything about what's being said about her is true, she doesn't belong in wrestling.
Yeah, it's just like, how many strikes can you have where it's just like, okay, you went out of Impact, you had controversy with Impact. There was all that talk about, her saying the racist comments to Le Rosa Negra from Mission Pro during that time. I don't remember where the location was. Might have been in Puerto Rico. I'm not positive. Either way, all that stuff continuing to happen. Her not being sought after. I mean, there has to be some talk of like, hey, there's some validity probably maybe to this, where it's just like,
as you said, where there's smoke, there's fire, man. So
and there's a great amount of smoke. Marcus, before I let you go, I kind of want to get your thoughts on how much have you heard about this MJF contract stuff going down a little bit?
Jason Michael Campbell, what's up, buddy? Thanks to everybody for joining us, by the way.
Yes,
Glad to have everybody
awesome
in here.
turnout. I'm
Yeah,
like pleasantly surprised because this was like kind of, I didn't make the announcement till later on, and here it is, and schedule adjustments, all that stuff. But
well, I'm glad to have you guys with us. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I think are taking issue with it, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like being a pro athlete. The window is relatively small, and there's certainly the possibility for injury. So in my head, it's make as much money as you fucking can in the shortest period of time that you can. So if MJF is kind of playing one side against the other when it comes to WWE and AEW, good for him. He should be. Really, it's if we're not talking about tens of thousands of dollars. We're not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're talking about the potential of millions of dollars on the line here. So that's life-changing money, and that's generational changing money. Like if he plays it right, his grandkids might never have to work. So really, if he's doing this, good for him. He should be.
Morgan, I mean, it's what pro wrestling's all about, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is a business based off of the carnival grounds, and kind of quote unquote conning people out of money. But and obviously the business has evolved and changed, but there's a lot of, I think that's what makes wrestling so fascinating, is that kind of, hey, so what is real and what isn't? What is who's playing against who here? What the games of the politics, all that stuff. It's why the NFL is such a big booming product nowadays. It's not just what happens on the gridiron. There's all this other drama outside of the gridiron that comes into play that makes it fascinating. And when you got like guys like MJF, who really is all about blurring the lines when it comes to like who he is on air, who he is off air, like he keeps the heel going. And then he makes these references that like have validity to him with like these reports from Sean Ross Sapp and all this kind of thing. And it's like, holy shit, this is like, what's going to happen? We just saw Cody go to WWE. And can we see MJF go to WWE? And what would that mean for AEW? What could this mean for the wrestling business? It's just like,
and that's the thing too, is you can't say that, well, he never will. Not after Cody went. That Cody's like the last person you would have expected. Like 2 years ago right now, if somebody would have said, hey, Cody, in 2 years, Cody's going to be in WWE, you'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
He Marcus, broke a throne.
I would have picked Jericho to go back to WWF before Cody.
Yep. But here we are. So here's the other thing. And I'll give Mark Madden a shout out. I believe he's the one who pointed this out. He's a huge fan of Roddy Piper. So he grew up he grew up in the New York area. Big WWE stamp in the New York area, obviously. So I think that MJF is like, he's a WWE fan at heart. Grew up a WWE fan. Loved Roddy Piper. So if I would say that all it would take is Vince McMahon telling him, hey, we'll give you your own Piper's Pit type segment on Raw, and he'd be like, yep, let's do it.
I mean, and you gotta think Vince McMahon would love MJF. He would love MJF.
100%. For the same reason he loved Roddy Piper.
And for the same reason I think he's loving Cody right now. Because he's somebody that's just doing his own thing and like embracing the business of the business.
Also, we're talking about a guy who back in the 80s, he found out that Crockett was doing, like, I think it was a bunkhouse stampede, and he was like, hey, guess what, we're going to do the Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble on free television on the same exact day. You know what I mean? I think that Vince McMahon likes the idea of like, oh, is that their top heel? Oh, Cody is their top baby face. We got him. Is that their top heel? We'll take him too.
Dude, I mean, it's like, that would just be, it's just crazy to think, because if like somebody like MJF was to go, that's like an AEW guy through and through. MJF, obviously he's like got his starts other places like MLW. He had a great run with Dynasty and everything like that, but he's one of the pillars. It's like, if you're playing both sides of the business, there's nothing wrong with that, because that's the wrestling business.
That's it.
So, it is.
You're in it to make money.
You're in it to make money. What'd you think of the whole contract? He even mentioned stuff like that during the contract signing. Even what'd you think of that whole segment, real quick, and then we'll let you go.
No, it's good. You know, it adds realism, and that's also the stuff that works. Actually, Arn Anderson was saying this on his podcast this week. You know, like the stuff where when it gets to feel real, when you get to ad lib and it's not quite as scripted anymore, that's when the really good shit happens. And he's right. So, you know, Cody touching on something with reality is that's good TV. No, there's no matter how you slice it, it's good TV. So yeah, I think it's great. I know that the impulse as fans is to be like, no, I don't like WWE as much. I want them to stay in AEW, but like, it's a very, very small window here of opportunity. And like I said, he could tear his ACL next month. You know, so and fuck up the rest of his career. Now, granted, when it comes to wrestling, you know, if you tear your ACL, you take a very, very severe
a little
injury.
different, or you do certain things.
Right. It would take a very, very severe injury to knock you out of wrestling, but still, it could happen. So, you know, the idea is you make as much money as you can in the shortest period of time as possible.
It's very true. Very true.
Mm-hmm. By the way, he doesn't give a fuck about titles. You know, I've seen that come up. Like, well, he hasn't been getting title shots. He hasn't getting, you know, he's not on top. He's not working in the main event as much. Blah blah blah. Like MJF stays in character all the time, and you know what that tells me about him? It's that he understands how the business works. And look, let me tell you, if I was wrestling, do you think I would want to have the most championship belts in the history of the company, or do you think I'd want to make the most money in the history of the company?
Make the most money.
I know that you know which one I'd want, Dominic.
Yeah.
So
it's all about the money.
I think that's probably where his head is. So yeah, gotta give him props. He's in a really, really great position right now,
and good for him too, because he's a guy that loves the business. And like, to your point, Marcus, like, hey, guess who else never held really any titles or a major world title? Roddy fucking Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Who his cat is named after. So it's all there, brother. It's all there.
Yep.
What's all there for you over at Ad Free Shows, Marcus?
Oh man, a lot of stuff going on. We just announced Starcast, Dominic.
Yes.
Starcast in Nashville. Guys, if you haven't seen this, go to the website, go on YouTube and look up past Starcast. This is the best fan convention that you could ever hope to be a part of. There's going to be tons of wrestlers, tons of current and former stars, Hall of Famers. It's not just convention, pal. There's going to be live wrestling. There's going to be live stage shows where interactive experiences. So, I mean, if you're a wrestling fan and you have any way of getting to Nashville in July, SummerSlam weekend, go out of your way to get there. Like, if you are thinking, I need, you know, what summer vacation am I going to do? What's the big thing I'm going to do? This is it. If you're a wrestling fan, you have to go to this. If you're a wrestling fan, Dominic and I will both be there. It's a really, really huge event. For real, if you haven't heard about it, look it up on YouTube. Look it up on, you know, search your Twitter for it. It is something else.
Marcus, how many Starcast have you been to? Starcast?
I've never been to one.
You've never been to one?
I've never been to one. This will be the 5th one that they've put on. We, as a company, Ad Free Shows has not done one since, I want to say, COVID or something.
Yes. Starcast 4 in Baltimore.
Yeah, so it's been a while since we put one on, but let me tell you, it is an unbelievable experience. I would be watching the videos before I got involved with Ad Free Shows. Like, man, that looks fucking awesome.
So I've been to all 4 of them.
Oh, that's right, you have.
I've been to all 4 of them, and I gotta say, like, all the Starcasts were great. First Starcast was super awesome. There was just the atmosphere, the buzz going around. It was all in. It wasn't even all out. So it was like, was in connection way back. And the roast of Bruce Pritchard, one of the fucking funniest, I mean, live shows I've ever been to. And I've been to stand-up shows, and like, people were laughing. It's just crazy. Like, just the different stuff that you can do. And, you know, Conrad and them getting creative with stuff. Like, at the Baltimore one, man, like you had Sting in his American face paint, like his Surfer Sting American face paint for Great American Bash, like when he won the title and stuff like that. It just cool shit happening.
Hey, look, if you're not sold on it, for real, take 5 minutes and go find some video of it on YouTube. There's a bunch of stuff posted. Unbelievable fan experience. So, like I said, if you can make it there, get there, because it is going to be a blast. Plus, Dominic and I'll be there. I'll sign whatever you want, pal.
I'll sign some titties. I'll sign some.
I was thinking like your shirt or something, but
no,
hey,
I'll sign whatever. Just bring whatever, you know. I'll do an inscription or whatever you want. You know, I'll say whatever. I'll make fun of myself. It doesn't matter.
Hey, that's my cue. I got to run.
Okay. Anything else? You got anything else?
Nope. You guys have a lovely evening. Dominic, take good care of these good folks.
Oh, you know, Marcus, you know it. Did you see RJ City with Arn by chance?
Of course. Yeah.
Your thoughts? I need to see it still.
It was great. It was above expectations, I would say. Just fun seeing Arn in that sort of environment.
It is. RJ City's the best. I love RJ.
So, all right. See you guys later.
All right. Get out of here, you loser.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, he's gone, everyone. Thank God, huh? Jeez, oh, man. What a clown. I can't believe I keep him on the show. Hold on. I'm changing the thing. There we go. Look at that. I even did it. I knew this was happening, so I prepped. I prepped early. It's just me now, everyone. Yes. And we still got more to talk about. I don't want to let you fellers and fellettes down. So let's keep going here. Let me add a little bit more stuff about the Wardlow and MJF contract signing. I liked that Wardlow did not talk, and he just used his facials to get himself over. And like just to the viewer, because in Long Island, it was a uphill battle to get cheers when MJF is just putting himself over in his hometown, where he's already cultivated like, you know, hey, cheer for me identity kind of thing in my hometown. Like, even though it's like tongue in cheek, kind of like, hey, this guy would turn on you in a second, but here he is. So I like that Wardlow did not talk. I thought that was really cool. And I thought he handled that very well too. And then I thought the whole segment was great. I thought it was really, really good and well done. So yeah, very, very cool way to do it. It was a great balance of what I thought was a really, really good show. Let's see. Oh, are you behind on AEW Dynamite? Jeez, I didn't know that. But yeah, what I wanted to touch upon further too, I didn't get to mention this I wanted to mention this. I liked Martha Hart being at the Owen Hart tournament, and like obviously it's cool because like she's Owen Hart's wife, and it's for his tournament, and you know she has been out of wrestling. She's never really been into wrestling, but like she's embracing it here. But I liked just the genuine, like her being herself on camera, where she's just like waving and stuff. It's cool because it's like kind of like this person that's there that isn't putting on any airs or like playing up to anything. It's just, hey, she's there and she's part of this experience, and she's clapping, or she's like, hey, oh man, that guy lost. Like, I think it was when Dax lost. She's like, oh, well, hey, you know, that kind of thing. She's on camera again. And it's like a genuine, hey, person there. It's not like a wrestling fan. It's a person. I kind of like that. Does that make sense? I just thought it was kind of entertaining, and it was neat to see her there. It was neat to see her there. So I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, see, Nesha, you called it again. We keep not saying Harry. And, you know, I almost feel that he could lose almost to Samoa Joe and be all right. But could you imagine if he went the distance? Say it's Harry Smith and Adam Cole or somebody like that in the finals. Or yeah, you even have Jeff Hardy and Harry Smith. Like I said this a couple weeks ago or last week on the episode, was that like Harry Smith, or Davey Boy Smith Jr., as he was known in Major League Wrestling, had the best 2019. I think he was the wrestler of the year. Like, he did so many different types of matches, one with no ropes, one with different competitors, different styles, and he had a run. It was really cool to see. So I would be very much for Harry Smith being in this tournament. I think it would be very, very cool. Yeah, Jason, FTR did turn face. I think they're going to keep continuing that. as well, because I think they're guys that people really respect and like to work around. It's like they weren't out there for MJF when his contract signing. Sean Spears was there. I think the pinnacle is just over, right? It's just over. And I'm sure they'll make reference to it and things like that. But they are baby faces now. Oh, thank you, Steven, because I did not get to watch Rampage, which I want to, because I want to see the Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky match. But yes, I wonder if help me out here, Steven. Did they make that announcement on Rampage? Because I knew watching Dynamite that they were talking about Sheeta being almost out of the tournament. They weren't sure at that point. So help me out if you know that when they made that announcement. But yeah, this was just really cool, and I named this episode Owen Hart Deserves All the Flowers, because it's just cool to see this getting right, everything kicking off here with this, and like seeing the Owen Hart and like fan signs, Martha being there, the tournament, the color scheme, like I just did here with this frame, like everything. It's just really, really cool. And it's a great way to celebrate him. Like, you know what I mean? Because Matt Hardy did his Owen Hart episode. It was so cool, like doing social media for that through the whole week, making clips all about Owen, like, and just seeing him. It's cool. It's cool because it was so sad when it happened and everything like that. And I'm sure everybody, if you're a wrestling fan for that grew up in the 90s and everything like that, you remember where you were when you heard about Owen Hart passing. I distinctly remember being in my room as a kid, 13 years old, and watching on I believe it was a 19-inch television, maybe smaller, but seeing on the local news that wrestler Owen Hart passed away after taking a devastating fall during the pay-per-view, and me remembering that the pay-per-view was on that night, and just couldn't believe it. So it's neat to see him being celebrated in wrestling again. It's very, very cool. And it's going under Martha's like allowance in a way, because it's just like she's giving her blessing to have it happen. It's just very, very cool to see. So I very much like that. Oh, interesting. May see a triple threat at the pay-per-view, Sky, Sami Kazarian. I'm not against that. Listen, so I watched Dynamite, like I said. So I saw Scorpio Sky cut his promo, which was great. Matter of fact, babyface, I liked it. I like what they're doing with Scorpio Sky. Boom. I also like what they're doing with Frankie Kazarian, and giving him that chance to kind of talk a little shit to Sami, and like good babyface work there. Sami's obnoxious as fuck. I like that. So yeah, I'm all for the triple threat. I think that's a good move. Oh, is he really? I didn't know that. Oh, Hacksaw Jim Duggan battling cancer again. That's a shame. He's a great. Oh man, yeah, I love Hacksaw. So, hoping the best for him. Hoping the best. Let's see. I remember, what'd you say here, Nisha? I remember my cousin asking had I watched pay-per-view and finding out. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I just one of the. I mean, for me as a fan watching, one of the first major tragedies to experience. Maybe Rick Rude was before, like the one. Was it Rick Rude before that? Maybe he wasn't. I can't even remember. But I think Owen Hart might have been like the first big wrestling tragedy of my fandom. Yeah, just crazy to think. Daniels versus Sky. That'd be kind of cool. He still does it. I'm sure that could be in the mix of things. He would be great to have in an angle where like he gets beat up. Sami maybe beats him up or something like that. Sorry, that's my freaking virus thing. I don't know what's going on. I don't have a virus. I think it's just an alert, whatever. But yes. Another match that I very much liked here was Ricky Starks versus Jungle Boy. I thought this kind of exemplified how well balanced Dynamite was from a match work standpoint, because you had a methodical kind of battle and a chess game almost, and that was something that was a little more raw in Dax and Adam Cole. Then at the end, you had something that was just wild, fucking crazy stuntman stuff between Jeff and Darby. And then this here in the middle, it was like smooth wrestling, like with that modernized touch to it. So I thought this, like being in the middle with the opening match and then the main event, I thought it was really highlighted how well balanced the show was. And then along with the segments that follow that were sandwiched in between these, I thought were very good. And yeah, Starks and Jungle Boy, they can go. Starks showed some sweet athleticism. I like the little touch he had of like, I think he missed it. Yeah. Jungle Boy got out of the Rochambeau and he's like, damn it. Just like a little touch to that. I thought was super cool. So very much like that. I just enjoyed this Dynamite. Maybe it's just the fact I haven't really been so distracted this past week. I haven't really got to sit down and watch wrestling. And this was fun to do for me. So yeah, let's see here. Wow, Jason, why do you think Adam Cole sucks? Just do you not like his promos? You just what exactly? Explain a little more if you can. Cage will turn heel at the pay-per-view. Jurassic Express will lose the tag titles. Yeah, Steven, I agree. Trying to think who are they teasing up for the tag titles? They kind of made Keith Lee and Swerve. Then you have Starks and Hobbs. Which, could really go either way. Like I think you need to, if you're gonna go in a certain route, I would probably maybe lean towards Keith Lee and Starks getting those belts, right? Just because like they're established names, but they really need that opportunity to be like, hey, they're champions in this new promotion that are gonna make them a big deal. So I kind of think Swerve and Keith Lee should get those belts because Starks is really, I mean, he got that win against Jungle Boy there. I know it was under suspect means and stuff, but it's there. Powerhouse Hobbs, they have plans for and stuff that they're going to work towards, and he is a talent that's gonna, I think, get even bigger and bigger, and like catch more fire, much more fire on the way. So I'm thinking I'd lean more towards Swerve and Keith Lee getting something going. You can't watch it on your May 29th. Happy birthday, early birthday to your daughter, Nesha. Yeah, it's tough to do when you got kids. I was just texting my buddies. They were saying how they the Penguins are playing like right now. I'm missing the game. It's game 7. And he's like, I got to do this kids stuff with my kids, and they got to, some sort of recital or practice or something like that. And he's missing like the first part of the Penguins game, and he's a diehard Penguins fan. So it's just like, man, balancing all that stuff out is tough. It's tough being a parent. It's rewarding, I'm sure, but it's also tough. And that's just from an outsider looking in. Okay. Hookhausen. That was pretty cool. I liked it. I don't know how it's all going to work out with this, but I like the odd couple pairing of these two. And I liked, I'm really thinking Danhausen was standing out more so just being a presence, walking to the ring and being in the ring more so than in backstage segments, even at this juncture, because I don't know, just the way he moves, he's like walking like this, like Mr. Burns almost. And he's like, hello there, and all that stuff. His music was like the Munsters. That was great. I really like that. So yes, I like Hookhausen. I like this vibe. I don't know where they're going with it. I don't know how it's going to pay off or how it's going to mesh. Like, I hope they find the right groove for them, But I kind of like the pairing. What do you guys think about it so far? Okay, so yeah, Nesha thinks it's interesting. Oh, geez, everybody can't watch Double or Nothing. Steven's got a family reunion in West Virginia. Jeez, everybody's got stuff to do. It's tough. Hey, that's Memorial Day weekend too. Stuff's just happening. It's just going on. I mean, I love Vegas. I'm gonna be there, so it'll be cool. But that'll be neat. Yes. Let's see. Jon Moxley shows his allegiance once again to Eddie Kingston and defends him with his Blackpool Combat Club with William Regal, who gets a shot in Jericho. I love this segment. I think it really furthers home how much I love a heel / kind of comedic Jericho. And him really highlighting guys like 2.0, and Daniel Garcia finding his groove at some point, But I like this dynamic, and I like Blackpool Combat Club kind of butt heads with them more so. And, continue this feud going on with Eddie Kingston and stuff like that. maybe setting up some blood and guts stuff makes sense with Blackpool Combat Club. Right? You get hit, you get them. Let's see. So you have Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, you have Moxley, you have Wheeler Utah, you have Eddie Kingston, you have Santana, and you have Ortiz. That's 6. So then how many does the Jericho Appreciation Society have? They have Hayter, they have Jericho, they have 2.0, that's 2. They have Daniel Garcia. So they need one more if they're going to do blood and guts 6-on-6, or somebody sits out of Blackpool Combat Club. I think you could maybe not put Wheeler Utah in there. I think that'd be a fucking hell of a blood and guts match, right? I think that'd be a good set pairings to have happen there. Barry, are you with Menza? What is going on? I saw Barry early. Owen Hart, what? William, who are you? And what do you have to say here? Let the Menza meeting commence. Oh, here we go. I remember Barry. Yeah, Barry was there last time. I remember this. Okay. All right. Anywho, back on track. What do you guys think about may add Archer to make it 6-on-6? Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Jason Michael Campbell says Daniel Garcia and 2.0 suck. I don't think so. I mean, I think they need a little bit more time to kind of cultivate people. I think they're great obnoxious heels. I think Daniel Garcia just needs a little bit more of a chance to brew a little bit as a persona and personality. But yeah, I don't think they suck. No way, I don't think they suck. But hey, wrestling is projective art form, so everybody's got entitled to their opinion. Let's see here. Let's see what else do I want to cover. Oh yes, this right after the match of CM Punk and John Silver from Long Island was a confrontation between Hangman and Punk. I liked all of this. I think it very much, we're going to see Hangman Page keep his world title against Punk. I think it's just going to happen. It only makes sense. And to Punk to lose, to get his first loss against your world champion that you're really trying to build around, it makes perfect sense. It makes, not his first loss, because he lost to, didn't he lose to somebody? He lost to MJF. He got his first loss against MJF. So his first big kind of official non-chicanery loss against Hangman Page would be very good. So yes, I think that's where it's going to go. And I like how they're building it up. I want to see Hangman get on the mic again and kind of cut more of a promo to further establish, hey, this is the guy we're going to be starting to root for. Or maybe he can kind of play a little bit of heel. It was neat to see Punk play heel in Long Island. I thought it was pretty darn good. Yeah, so it was a good little segment. Again, good balance of things here on this Dynamite. One of the funnest ones, I think, to watch in the past. I mean, a lot of the Dynamite's been pretty good, I think, overall. There's been some misses here and there, but for the most part, I think they've been fun, and this one was really fun to watch. I think it just had a good stuff about all that stuff. Let's see. Okay, so your way of thinking is if you can't entertain me, you suck, and you're not doing your job very well. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe to you they suck because maybe they're not entertaining to you, or is it okay, I don't want to watch these guys? Because I think that's kind of the point of almost being a heel in certain ways. Obviously, you don't want a heat you don't get elicit any reaction from. If you get a reaction of hey, I don't like this guy, I want to see his ass get beat, that kind of thing, then that kind of gives you a little bit more. Where that maybe they suck as somebody you don't like, but if it's somebody you don't like watching, or it's this is a waste of my time kind of thing, then it's kind of a different mentality. I think I'm pretty entertained by 2.0, I think, a lot of the ways. And like I said, Daniel Garcia has shown he's got the ring work. I think the big thing in wrestling, though, is personality. Can he get that over? Sammy was able to catch fire with that, with Jericho being his quote-unquote mentor. And so if Jericho's able to do that with Daniel Garcia, then that's another thing. Let's see if it's happening. I think that ball is still up in the air, so to speak. But hey, again, Jason, you're up to your opinion too. It's okay, let's see what else you had. You make a sports reference, and I always like those. It's like the Brooklyn Nets. They have Kevin Durant now. They just suck, and I'm kind of wondering what Kevin Durant was thinking going to the team. Well, Kevin Durant's a star. So is Kevin Durant the Jericho in this situation? Or because I mean it's like the Brooklyn Nets are big marquee names. You got you had Harden, but you don't have Harden anymore. You got Kyrie, you have Durant. Was there another person? But those are big names. It's like almost a super team vibe. So, I mean, I kind of get what you mean in that regard, but it's I don't know. I think jury's gonna be out. Jericho is the real catalyst for this Jericho Appreciates site, obviously, but to get it over, if Jericho's keeping that persona and identity of him, and then it's those other members of the faction are able to do that as well, then there you go. And I think 2.0 are on their way. Dio Garcia, like I said, the jury, I think for me right now is out still. Can he do it? Can he do it? I think time will tell. Laughed my head doing Paige's finisher. Yeah, see, I thought that was really cool. Good enough to prompt the babyface to get up and confront him in the ring. I liked it. I thought it was good and well done too. So yeah, Steven, I agree with you. I'm with you on that one. Let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to cover here? I think that's it, guys. I think I want to watch Rampage here still, at least the Sky and Kazarian match. But yeah, I think they're setting some cool stuff up for Dynamite. Or I mean Double or Nothing. And Dynamite upcoming with this Owen Hart tournament. Owen Hart tournament's been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to see how it's going to be fully embraced, Double or Nothing and everything like that. I'm looking for the pomp and circumstance, tribute to Owen, all that stuff. Any announcements that maybe might get made in regards to Owen being further celebrated in AEW, I'm all for. So it's pretty cool stuff. Good show at Dynamite. Got to get Marcus to start doing his Meltzer ratings again. Marcus Meltzer ratings. We used to do that on a weekly basis, and just keep forgetting. It's at the top of my banners here. And I always forget to click it and ask Marcus, hey, what's your rating of this show? So we'll get him back on doing that. But that's kind of it, guys. As far as stuff for me going on, it's just been a catch-up week. Like I said, my cat passed away, so it was really tough, and still tough. But it's just like kind of getting back in the groove with a lot of stuff. Some changes are occurring. I can let you know later on. But overall, it's I think it's for me, staying busy. Be on the lookout. I just posted a little teaser about my Lash LaRue interview. He tells a cool story about Kurt Hennig, and that's how I started all off here, is with a little bit of an article on that. So give that a look. That's up on WrestleZone.com. Lash is seriously one of my favorite interviews I've ever done. He actually dubbed, I told him about my cat passing, and he dubbed him the Feline Dream Daddy, and I like that a lot. So I'll be using that a lot for my cat, my late cat now. But yes, so did an interview with him. We have a very cool interview that you'll probably see, I believe, tomorrow up on WrestleZone. So be on the look for that. I'm trying to think. As far as other stuff goes, I work social media for Oh You Didn't Know podcast, the Road Dogs podcast. We got some good stuff cooking up there. He just recently, the newest episode is DX. No, I'm sorry. What was it here? It's Scott Armstrong was on, and he was talking about just his time in wrestling. So Road Dogg's brother, Scott Armstrong, longtime WWE referee, and he has some great stories to share, and that was really cool. It's a really fun episode, really informative episode. I love Bullet Bob Armstrong, such an awesome babyface. You want to talk about one of the best babyfaces? Bob Armstrong is that. So give that a look. Matt Hardy, Ask Matt was a recent episode. I very much encourage, if you haven't, to check out the Owen Hart episodes. So cool. Matt has some great stories. Pretty cool to me. I was not aware of how much Matt knew Owen Hart, and he wrestled him, I believe, 4 more times. So he's got some great stories to share and great insight about Owen being a family man and how Matt has embraced that himself with his family. So very, very cool. Give that a check. And then Wives of Wrestling, I also do for Podcast Heat. It's both Giovanna Angle and Kim Orton with John Alba. And they cover a lot of stuff, around the family of being a wrestling wife. So just like this one was Bucket List, this latest one. Tomorrow, a new episode drops there on the podcast feed of Wives of Wrestling. So give that a look too. A lot of cool, fun stuff over there at Podcast Heat and at freeshows.com. I also do the Wrestling History with History every day. This weekend, I did miss 2 of them because of the situation going on. But I'll be back on the horse here tomorrow. So if you want to subscribe to ad-free shows, do so. You get my little wrestling history newsletter every morning that I write up. It's a lot of fun to do. I like doing that. So let's see. What did you say? Oh, you get Nesha. It's Nesha's Meltzer rating. She gives it AEW 7.5. You know, that's I think that's a fair rating. I think that's you know, I would give it. I liked it. I would give it mine. It's not my thing. This is Marcus's gimmick. I give an 8.2. That's me. But I usually give MVPs. Who would be my MVP this week? That's tough. That's tough. I gotta think. I think I give it to MJF. I just like what he did. I like what he did on that show. Just boom, full MJF. It was good stuff. Okay, Steven says Wardlow. I like that. I mean, and Wardlow didn't do a whole lot. He just grinned. He beat up some security guards, but it does make sense. Like he's getting himself further over and got those Goldberg vibes. The Man of Steel thing, that famous Man of Steel where Superman's handcuffed. But he even said that wasn't intentional. It just happened like that. That's pretty cool. Oh, Nesha, you say Wardlow too. Awesome. So yeah, but yeah, give it a look up on WrestleZone. A lot of stuff cooking. I'll be there for Double or Nothing, AEW Double or Nothing doing coverage. Looking forward to that a lot. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. So fun to do. When Nesha messaged me, hey, what time this weekend? I want to make this happen. I want to make it happen because I have a lot of fun doing this. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the condolences of Dusty. I very much appreciate it. Razor is around somewhere. He's his own beast right now. Hopefully I'll get to get him on the show. He's a little bashful at this point in time, but he's a crazy one in himself. So yeah, I'm glad him and Dusty got to cross paths because two special guys there. But thank you guys. You guys are special. So thank you. And you follow me on Twitter at Dominic DeAngelo. You can see it right fucking there. But that's it, guys. I will see you. And Marcus will be there too, hopefully. That son of a bitch. See you next week on 2 Dynamite Dudes, baby. See you guys.